Hello, and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm doing a little book review. Um, I'm going to try and put little book reviews sprinkled in between my podcast episodes because I read some really good books. I've done a couple of episodes ago, I did a book review on the Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers, and I think that is one of the best books of all times. I think everybody should read that book. Another book that I really love is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. But today I want to talk to you about The Magic, which is by the same author, Rhonda Byrne. So if you're on YouTube, you can see a picture. It's called The Magic. And oh, the light's shining on it too much. Um, this is a really beautiful um, book about gratitude. It's all about creating a gratitude practice. And gratitude is a practice. We have to very deliberately direct our brain and tell it all the things that we can be grateful for. And this book, it's not a storybook, it's actually 28, it's a 28-day process on how to create a gratitude practice. So it's really lovely. Every day for 28 days, she talks you through what to do. And each day is slightly different. And I'm still practicing. The first day is all about count your blessings. And I read this book for the first time probably 18 months ago, and I've been doing this practice ever since. And you write down 10 things that you're grateful for that day. And I've got to tell you, this is sometimes a challenge for my brain. I have personally found it easier to do it in the evening before I go to bed, but I did start doing it first thing in the morning. So just pick a time that suits you. But it does take quite deliberate practice. For some of you, you will just be able to point everything out. And you would probably look at me and think I was that sort of person. But I do have to really encourage my brain to look for these things. Um, so I've been doing it ever since. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this book is I'm about to start this 28-day practice again. So, but part of the book that I love the way she starts off. So there's a passage, and I'm gonna read it. So if you're looking at me on YouTube, excuse me for looking down, but there's a passage that comes from the Gospel of Matthew in the Holy Scriptures, and it's mystified and confused and has been misunderstood by many people over the centuries. And the passage is this: whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And she then goes on to say, you have to admit that when you read this passage, it appears really unjust. And it seems to be saying that the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. But the mystery to uncover and the answer to that mystery is the word gratitude. And that's the mystery that has been hidden for centuries is gratitude. So when you reread that paragraph with gratitude, it makes perfect sense. So let me read it out to you again. Whoever has gratitude will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what he or she has will be taken from them. So this makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because you could have all the wealth, all the things, all the health in the world, but if you're not grateful for it, it's meaningless. Completely meaningless. So what you have is taken away because you don't appreciate it. You're not grateful for it. But even if you find gratitude in the smallest thing, in the beauty of a flower, in the smile of your child, in the joy of the sun's heat on your skin, you will get more gratitude because that practice shows you more things to be grateful for. And I just love that so much. And she goes on to say, um, she goes on to talk more about gratitude and things like I don't like my job, I haven't got enough money, I can't find my perfect partner, I can't pay my bills, I think I'm coming down with something. I mean, how many of us say that when we've got that cold we're in? Oh my gosh, I think I'm coming down with something. They don't appreciate me. I don't get along with my parents. My children are a problem, and my marriage is in trouble. When you talk that way, that's what you're going to get more of. Where she says, if you think about it from a gratitude perspective, like, I love my job. Or even if you don't love my job, I have a job. That's something to be grateful for because there are some people that would dream to have a job. Um, it could be that my family is supported. I had the best vacation. I feel amazing today. Today I feel good. I've got a tax refund. I had a great camping weekend with my son. When you sincerely feel the gratitude, the law of attraction says you must attract more of those things into your life. It is a universal law. You get what you think, and what you think is how you talk, internally or externally, even in your head or out loud. And it is a practice. Gratitude is a practice because that primitive part of our brain that I've talked to you about so often is looking for danger. It's looking by design, it's negative. So it takes engaging our higher consciousness and our higher wisdom to redirect that negativity into something positive. And there is always something positive. And this is one of the reasons why I chose many years ago, actually, to not listen to the news. I do not listen to the news. If I need to know something, I go and find out the facts from a more factual site, the government site or the environment agency or whatever. I don't take what I hear on the news because the news is dramatic, it's dramatized because they need audiences, so they tap into that drama that we crave. I don't want that drama in my life. So if I'm going to find something out, I want to find out the facts and I will make my own interpretation. And the news just gives us negative shit. It doesn't tell us the other 50%. It doesn't show us that when there's a natural disaster, the aid workers that come to help, the funding that gets given, the people that take families in, they don't show us that side of it. That is all happening. There's devastation and there's a huge amount of love and support and generosity that come along with that. But we don't balance it out. So we're always the imbalance of the negative. When you take the weather, people are like, oh, it's always raining. And they say it's always raining at a point when it's not raining. So it feels like it's always raining. But at that actual moment, they're saying it's always raining. It isn't. The sun's beautifully shining. And so when you take the moment as it is, and when you realize you can be grateful for the dry spell, or that little break in the cloud, or the sun trying to come through, that's a balance. It's not false positive. We don't want to be toxic bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about a balance. And it's about recognizing that both things are happening in the world. Yes, there's death, rape, abuse, and murder. There always has been, there always will be. And there's also love and support and people helping other people and raising money for charity. It's all happening. And what I love about the magic is it really takes you through a 28-day journey to build that gratitude practice up. So, this is my book recommendation for this episode, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. She's the same person that wrote The Secret. And give it as a gift to yourself. It just makes you feel so incredible. Have the most amazing week, and I'll speak to you again next week. Bye bye.